shut out all the noise and anyone that's saying to you, well, this isn't gonna, I don't think you should be doing this.
Did you have that?
Yeah, I had loads of people saying to me, I tuned it out, even from my husband. He's like, Emma, we're not moving to the US.
No,
we're not leaving to.
I'm literally the same. I'm like, Are you talking? Because you're coming with two. You just don't. You just don't know yet. Yeah, but it's gonna be your idea.
Yeah,
even though it's mine.
And then eventually you're gonna be really happy.
And they are. They're great.
They are.
Emma, welcome to the Earn Your Happy podcast.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much for having me, Laurie. I'm so excited.
There are so many exciting things about this moment right now.
There is. We're both going to say at the same time, this is my very first podcast
This
ever.
Is it. Podcast virgin. Not for long. I mean, not anymore.
No, this is it. You popped my cherry, Laurie. You popped my cherry.
I did. You're welcome. Why do I feel like this is going to be the beginning of many, many? You're such a natural speaker.
I mean, thank you.
No, you're so like already, you guys. She's turned on her camera a couple times for like social media, for Instagram. I'm like, oh, she's so natural that just wait. There's something happens when this podcast mic is in front of you, and I don't even know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, I mean, maybe that's come from like the performance, because maybe I don't think I told you this, but I was back in the day, like a bit of a working actress back in the UK.
None of this surprises me.
But so I was so used to being in front of the camera.
Yeah.
Although I was always with the crew. I was never really with the actors that much.
Yeah.
Really. I was always with the crew. And so for me, just talk, and I'm a people's person as well. And obviously, what I do for a living, but I don't mind just having a good old chinwag and chatting.
Okay. So chinwag means a chat.
Chinwag means a chat in the UK. As if everyone that's listening, I'm British, but a lot of people that now living in the US, they ask if I'm Australian. Oddly.
Oh, really?
Yes, I get that a lot. And no, I'm not Australian. I'm very much British.
Like, you look like you could be Australian, though. I think like the blonde and the bronze, like you just look like you should be on a beach.
People sometimes say that. They're like, you're Australian, right? I'm like, no, I'm British. But I've been in the US 14 years. So this is now home to me. Yeah.
So podcast name, Chimwags with Emma.
Chimwag.
That's your podcast name.
Oh yeah, I love that. Yeah, you've just coined my the podcast. That's it. Done.
Chimwags and makeup, or chimwags and bronzing. I don't even know.
Well, Chimwag and glow.
Chimwag and glow.
Yeah.
Oh, we like
Chimwag, coffee and glow.
All the favorite things.
Because I love a good coffee. Yeah.
Same. I don't have coffee for you right now, but it is like, okay, it's evening.
It's fine. The water
okay,
works.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay. So I found you because I was looking for, like, I don't even know. I probably Googled like best celebrity makeup artist in Los Angeles, because I was shooting a fitness magazine cover.
Yes.
And
I've got the front cover of the magazine at home.
Oh my God. I found you, and I loved you because you had such a good vibe online, and obviously your makeup is so freaking good. Like, I feel like you are the best at just creating the most glowy, bronzy, natural, but still a tiny bit glam.
Yeah.
Like, I'm obsessed. I feel like you're the best of the best. And whenever I've had big things in my life, I've either called you or I've called Nora,
and who's with my company,
and she's freaking amazing. I'm obsessed with her.
Yeah, love Nora.
And so you have become a massive celebrity makeup artist.
Oh my gosh,
is doing all of these beautiful faces that when I scroll past them, I'm like, oh, that's on Emma's page. That's celebrities. That's just Emma doing her face in the chair.
Thank you very much for saying that. I mean, it's hard for me to take compliments. I think that's the pure Brit in
for
me.
sure.
And I don't think I'll ever change. I don't take compliments too well. But like over the years, the clientele, like you sort of saying about scrolling over my page and seeing who I work with, but I have to honestly thank my clients as well for kind of getting me to where I am. I feel like a lot of people in the business, especially on the makeup and hair side, I also do men's grooming as well, but I don't actually post too much about my actor guys, which I need to do more of. But I do think a lot of makeup and hair crews kind of, I think maybe some do forget that, they've built that following, they've got that following, and some even, go skyrocket, with their following. But it's kind of because of who they are working with, right? And they're massive platforms, and then they get tagged in those pictures, and they get, and that to me, I'm so grateful and so thankful, and always will be. And even after this, I work, some of my people I've been with 10 years, 13 years. They're like part of my family. And I could, honestly, I can almost like get emotional thinking about even, all these people that have been so loyal, and still pick up the phone and message and like, can you come with me to do this? Can you come with me to do that? And I'm very aware of, I do think it's a combination, I do what I do, and I bring what I, to the table, and I'm through and through. I'm like a hustler and a grafter, and I work my backside off. But I think it's a combination of, the growth is also combined with the people I work with,
For sure.
and they, they're always tagging me and sharing me and, the projects they do. And so it's like a journey that I've been on with so many of them, that I've got them to thank for that as well.
But there's reasons for that, for sure, because there are a lot of people who have gotten the opportunity to work with amazing people, but they haven't understood how to nurture that relationship or show up in a way that makes them want to use them again. So I think that there's a lot there that I actually want to dig into.
Yeah.
So I'm going to put a pin in that, because I want to go back to when you first got started. And what was the first inspiration? So you said that you had been an actress for a hot second.
Yes.
And then where did it turn to makeup?
So I was always, like I was saying to you, I was always been I love being with the crew, and I loved being with the makeup and hair people and doing bits of acting and modeling back in the UK. I, used to just constantly be asking the teams questions and like, I want to do what you're doing. And they're like, well, you're on the other side of the camera.
Oh,
and
like you were asking, so you were asking the makeup teams, like, how do they do it?
I was like an actress on a job on a, TV series. I guess you guys over here call them series regulars, whatever. So I did like some big commercials. I did, TV as series regulars. But whenever I was, going in for my hair and makeup, I was constantly with, asking those people questions and wanting to be.
That's so opposite of what.
And they're like, Emma, come, we need to get you out of the chair. You need to go get into costume. You need to get on set. And I'm like, no, but I want to just be with you guys. Well, what are you using on me? And so eventually, one of them was like, go away, maybe do a course if you're really interested. And I always used to do my arts at school. I knew, even performing, people would be like, get Emma to do the hair and makeup, or like if I was doing plays and stuff when I was younger. So I creatively, I just had a hand of it, I guess. And then from a very young age, I also was working in a hairdresser's. I actually started in hair. When I was 12 years old, actually, I took myself off to my local hairdressers, and I said to my mum and dad, I'm going to work in the local hairdressers. And so you had to be 13 to get a Saturday job back in the UK. I was 12 years old, and I took myself down to my local hairdressers, and I was like, I will do anything. I will sweep your floors and make your customers tea. Just give me a job. And so I was very sort of forthcoming, and they sort of was like, we can't say no to this. So I got a Saturday job in a hairdresser's from the age of 12, but I should have been 13. And from the age of 12 to 18, I worked in a hairdresser's. So from a very young age, I had, a very strong work ethic, and I knew what I kind of wanted to do. I still loved doing the acting, but I loved doing the makeup and hair. Roll on, obviously, going fast forward now to the days when I was doing my bits of acting. I took some time out and I did a makeup and hair course that ranged from everything from special effects to wig work to the whole shebang at London College of Fashion in the UK, just off Oxford Street. A lot of people, it's like known for arts and makeup, hair, all different creative design. And then I eventually basically started pestering all the makeup and hair people that I worked with that used to do makeup and hair on me to work with them, to assist them. And I did not stop until one of them was like, okay, we'll take you on, like, let's do a test.
Where do you think that came from though? Because most people are like, I'm so scared. I don't want to ask. I feel like a burden. What made you not feel like a burden at all? In fact, like totally opposite.
It wasn't even the thing of the fact that I thought that I knew I could do it. Yeah. It was just like the, I guess, excitement, adrenaline, and the not knowing kind of in my heart and my head what I wanted to do and thinking, okay, what do I need to do to get to that next step? And these are the people that I loved what they did on me. So I want to work with them or assist them or do anything. And I knew without, like I said, don't take compliments too well, without like, I guess saying that knew what I could do. I knew I could do the job. I knew if they gave me that chance, I'd be able to prove, just what I could offer them. And so, yeah, I think.
Was that like from putting in the reps, you think? Like you just had confidence because you had done so much work to that point?
Well, yes and no. I hadn't like worked on the makeup and hair side as such at that point, but I think it was just knowing that I guess I could tell that even when I did my makeup and hair course, like the teacher would be the one that would, she said at the end of the course, like, here's my number. I feel like you can go on and do things like, out of this, and, being aware of, without saying, oh, I knew I was good, being aware of my surroundings and other people that I was training with and the levels that what I was achieving to what they were achieving. I guess I knew that there were certain things I could do from like a young age anyway. And so I kind of in my head, I just had a vision of where I wanted to be. And I just carried on being persistent until, there was a makeup artist, a very well-known makeup artist. She's Maggie Hunt. And she was one of the first people that's like, okay, Emma, she did my makeup for a big project back in Belgium many, many years ago. And I persistently just contacted her.
Because you loved her work.
Because I loved her work. And I was like, I want to assist her. Yeah. Okay. She's just amazing.
What was it about her that you were so drawn to?
First of all, was like the Princess Diana of like makeup and hair. And she also, she's worked with the royals. She's worked with huge celebrities. And I remember her doing my makeup one time and me looking in the mirror just in awe of the talent and seeing the what she'd done on my face. And
that's how we all feel with you. Okay, continue.
I just knew I wanted to work. She had a calming demeanor and she was so lovely. And I just really wanted to assist her. And so I kept emailing her until eventually one day. And she actually said to me, Emma, I just, quite honestly, you just kept being persistent and you didn't stop. So in the end, I just thought I'd give you a go just to kind of get you off my back. And she said, she didn't realize that I would be as good as what she thought.
Yeah.
She just kind of almost wanted to be like, oh, stop emailing me.
Yeah. Like get this girl out of the way.
Stop emailing me. And so, cause I asked her that, I was like, why did you actually choose me in the end to come and do a test? And she was like, well, quite frankly, just to get you off my back, Emma, because like you just kept emailing me. And then lo and behold, I carried on. I started assisting her. And that fell into, I started doing more work on makeup and hair. And I fell into doing work at the BBC, a big television company back in the UK. And a very influential person in my life back in the UK who took me on to her show as her personal, Saira Khan. Love her. We still are in touch to this day. She's a very well-known, famous personality back in the UK, and she had her own show called Beat the Boss, and I was her makeup and hair person on the show. And I will never forget that hustle and grind and what I saw in her. And she would be the one that's like, Emma, you need to do this. You need to get a website. You need to pitch yourself to more people. You need to put yourself out there. You need to get makeup and hair cards done. You need to do this. You need to do that. And she was a very powerful force of nature that that pushed me to, she was like, here's my website, guy. Go and get your website done, and so. And
you would do it?
And I would, yeah. And
would you do it pretty quickly?
And I would do it. Yeah, I got it done.
People want to help people who do the work.
Yeah, I was just, and I remember her always saying to me, whoever shouts the loudest, like that's the person I would respond to or, get back to the first. And so I would be, I guess, the person that, if I wanted something, I just did not stop until, and there's obviously many doors that get closed in your face and people say no. But I had that vision and I stayed with it. And I was doing Saira Khan. So I started doing sort of more celebrity stuff back in the UK.
Yeah. Okay. So 2 things on that. What were you doing that maybe you weren't aware of that you have said multiple times now? You're like, I had this vision. Did you feed the vision? Would you listen to music and think about it? Like how, people who like have that big vision for their life, they stay really close to it.
Yeah.
How would you stay close to it? Were you a natural dreamer? Would you go for runs and think about it? Would you journal about it? Or was it just like you thought about it all the time?
I'm really into manifestation.
Okay, great.
And
Same.
I really wish now, thinking back of even my journey to even come over to the US as well, and even having our first daughter, Coco, I really wish that I'd written this down, because it was honestly everything. When I say this, I've got very tunnel vision when it comes to the things I want to try and achieve.
Yep.
And, like all of us, sometimes things can take, longer.
Yeah.
But I don't ever get, what's the word? I mean, I don't get ever sort of sad or, for want of a better word, or I don't ever dwell on what I haven't got right now or think about. I love living, in the present and just being appreciative and grateful for what I've achieved so far. But I really I put it out there to the universe of what I want. And I remember years ago, I did used to walk with my Walkman. Back then, it was a Walkman days.
Totally. Yep.
And I used to listen to music. I remember, and but I'm a person that's very excited with life, and I have that energy. I read many years ago, like all those books, The Manifestation, The Secret, and all those things. And I just remember having that sort of vision in my head and seeing it. So I never journaled per se, but I had it all in my head. I didn't even like do, boards, like, what the
vision boards
and things like that. But I had the vision board in my head.
You had it in your head. Totally.
I had it in my
head. Thought about it all the time.
And I would walk and walk and walk. And if I went to the gym back in the day, I haven't worked out for many years now, but I would have that vision and be like, okay, what's the next step? What am I going to do now to make that a reality? And so each step of the way, like in between my makeup and hair course, I was, helping my dad down his shop, because my dad's an entrepreneur. He's got his own companies. And I'd be like, I know in my head, in years to come, to grow, it's, invariably it's great to have a team around you. So I knew that I wanted to have a team, and like almost like a makeup agency, almost like I just knew that back in the day.
And had you seen that around you before, or was this like something you just thought of from other things you saw? Are you ready to take your business's marketing to the next level? Meet Brevo, the all-in-one marketing and CRM platform built to help you connect with customers, boost engagement, and grow your business smarter. With Brevo, you can manage all your customer interactions in one place. Nurture leads with their built-in CRM, reach your audience through email and SMS, and keep them coming back with powerful automations. But here's where it gets really exciting. Meet Aura, Brevo's AI assistant. Aura helps you craft smarter campaigns by suggesting personalized content, optimizing send times, and even analyzing performance data to help you improve your strategy in real time. It's like having a marketing expert on your team 24/7. And of course, Brevo offers advanced analytics, seamless integrations, and AI-driven personalization, everything you need to create multi-channel campaigns and hit the mark every time. Get started for free today, or use code HAPPY50 to save 50% on starter and standard plans for the first 3 months of an annual subscription. Just head to brevo.com/happy and take your marketing further with Brevo and Aura. If you've ever run a business, you know the workplace chaos is real. I'm talking deadline slipping, someone's out sick, your tech decides to break mid-launch, and suddenly you're doing 3 people's jobs. Like, I'm totally cool. I'm fine. Don't worry about me. And in those moments when you realize you don't need another person, you need the right person. This is a job for sponsored jobs. And if I had to hire for my team right now, I wouldn't just post a job and hope that the right unicorn magically finds it. I'd want someone who understands our pace, can handle the chaos, and has the exact skills we need, whether that's editing, ops, social, or customer experience. That's why I'd use Indeed sponsored jobs, because it boosts your job posts in search results so you can reach quality candidates who actually match what you're looking for, like specific skills, certifications, or even location. And with sponsored jobs, you only pay for results. People are finding quality hires on Indeed right now. In the minute I've been talking to you, companies like yours made 27 hires on Indeed, according to Indeed data worldwide, which is wild and also exactly the point. When you need the right hire, sponsored jobs is the solution. Spend less time searching and more time actually interviewing candidates who check all your boxes. Less stress, less time, more results. When you need the right person to cut through the chaos, this is a job for Indeed sponsored jobs. And listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to help get your job the premium status it deserves at Indeed.com/podcast. Just go to Indeed.com/podcast right now and support our show by saying you heard about Indeed on this podcast. Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Need to hire? This is a job for Indeed sponsored jobs.
No, I just thought to myself, well, the best way to grow, you need more people because you can't do everything on your own. And then obviously over the years that came to fruition, that ended up happening because it was like, well, Emma, I've got booked 3-4 times today, but I can't be in 4 places at once if they're all in different crazy locations. Right. So I need my team around me to then go and do, those jobs. Mm-hmm. But on a business side, how do I grow that and make that like a successful business where I'm earning commission and it's making sense than just handing off jobs to just friends or other people that I know. Yeah. And I knew that I didn't want to just do that because I know there's people in the business that do that in my area, but I wanted to create like a company, a team. So even though it's a small boutique hair and makeup agency, I class them as my team, kind of, it's not, I don't even think of them as assistants per se. Like if I've got like another job, they're, artists in their own right as well. But back in the day, I knew that I wanted to have a company. So even back then I thought of the name that I wanted it to be, and everyone would be like, well, why aren't you just calling it your name? Or why, what if you have a makeup products one day, what would you call it then? But again, I came up with Contour Fossa. All the areas of the face that you contour or you add warmth to structure it are called fossas. So every part of your face is, the eyes are orbital fossas. The forehead is infratemporal fossas. They're all fossas. So I thought Contour Fossa. So that was where, and I thought of that, and that name came to me as I was sitting down my dad's shop one day, in between doing a little bit of work for my dad. Yeah. But like building my dream. Back then I was creating it back then I had that vision, and that's what I first called my first website, like Contour Fossa.
Oh my God. I love that story so much. I feel like the name of my podcast came like 6 years before it was a podcast. I didn't really know what it was. I was like, it's going to be something. I can't figure out what it will be, but it's like I held on to that vision and I just kept asking like, what is that? And what does it mean? And then I realized I really like, Facebook came out. I really loved talking like long form or writing long form. And then I was like, oh my God, I think it's like a long form interview show talking to people about how they created Contour Fossa.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
But I love that. Like sometimes a name can pop in before like even the whole vision is there, what it's going to be.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. I love that so much. Okay. So you've said, a couple times about building, like you said, I can't do anything alone. Where did that come from? How did you know that? Because honestly, the number one pitfall of early entrepreneurs is that they feel like they have to do it all on their own.
Well, first of all, it's, it was kind of me building everything like myself in the beginning. But the team part of knowing that eventually I want to have a company was also in my mind thinking to myself, for later in life, I mean, look, I still think my company's tiny. It's like growing still. It's not, anywhere. But I also used to think at a young age, what about passive income and other things that you can do that it's not just you and you're going to be able to earn money while you're sleeping and try to grow on that. And so even though I had to kind of be the engine behind it all. And, to this day, I still am doing that. Like a lot of the time, even some of the jobs I get my girls, it's come from, me being unavailable. And again, I mean, so grateful to even be able to say this because there's people that are out there that are not necessarily busy in this, field. And then I, pitch hard and push my other team and my artists onto that said like client that I can't potentially do in hopes that then they would build a connection with them. So then they'd call them back. So then that grows for that person. And so it keeps growing, So, but for me, it's still, I do still have that control feeling. I have one amazing girl, Maddie, who works for me, for the company, to help me build the company.
Yeah.
Pushes as an agent and everything.
Great on email. Talk to her.
Yeah, she's amazing. And Maddie's great because we are so like on the
connected.
same, so connected that we're so connected that sometimes it's not even like you can go nail and
like
tongs at each other.
Yeah.
It's like, it's like almost like a family member where you can say anything to.
Yeah.
So it's because of that, it's good because it's not just, even though she works for me, it's not a yes person. She's definitely not a yes person. It's good for me to have that because she's like, no, I think we should do it this way. I think you need to, we need to put that person on that, she'll help me with the company. So that took a long time to find someone that I trusted for that. Because like you were saying about, doing everything yourself and controlling everything yourself, at some point I knew that I did have to relinquish control to take it to that next level. And also actually spend more money to earn. What's that saying where you spend more to earn, like to get more money back? Like as in you end up,
spend more to earn more. I mean, essentially, what is that saying? I'm not sure.
That kind of where you like you end up, you're spending more money to like grow something because eventually it's going to come round.
You have to invest back into your company.
Yeah, basically investing back into my company and to know. Even like my husband wasn't really sure of where, I was going with trying to push for other artists to get work, especially in this town. Everyone's like, oh my God, you give work away to other people and like you push them onto like other maybe celebrities. Why aren't you saying no and like just doing it yourself or trying to? And I'm like, well, that eventually, I can't just, I'm not, it's going to at some point, say stop for me, or I'll get to a certain age where I'm not going to be lugging around a £60 kit anymore.
Totally.
But it still definitely does. I'm still kind of the main engine behind it all, but I've definitely learned to release control over, those over things that where I know it's going to benefit in the long run.
Yeah, there's so much there because one of the cool things that you said that I hope everybody caught is that when you want to grow, you had to sell your people to some of your clients. And I remember when I owned a gym and I hired other trainers, I actually really had to hard pitch my current clients because they did not want to go with these other trainers.
Oh my God, this is exactly the same thing.
I was like, honestly, they're better than me in this area.
Yes, and I would say that. I'd be like, well, girls, once you've had I would say to one of my clients, once you've had like Nora or one of my girls, you're not going to want to ask me back.
Right,
As in you're
exactly.
like, but in my mind, I'm like, that's how I can grow, right? Because if I then pitch them and I get them with that client, okay, that's another, say, a regular person that they're going to constantly, and then I'm still working, right? I'm still doing another job or working.
Exactly.
And then another client comes along and I can pitch someone and it can only grow. So like sometimes also I've tried to tell my girls, like, let me help. You help me to help you.
Right.
It's a bit kind of like because there's sometimes a pride thing in this business. Some people don't want to say that, they're repped by someone or that like, oh, Emma gives me work.
There's a major like lack scarcity mentality in a lot of businesses, especially I feel like that beauty industry could be like, they're going to take or poach or like.
100%. And I'm like, guys, also as well, part of me is like, I've tried to cultivate and build this team. And I'm like, if we all collectively are all kind of, if you can't do a job or you're sick, if you're putting our team on those clients, you're never going to lose that client, right? But if you just say no to not being available for a client that you've worked with for a long time and let them potentially get another artist or someone in the business, work on them, you hope in hell that they don't prefer them over you because once they do, then it's not going to stay within the family that I'm trying to create and build,
Yeah.
So yeah, for me, that is actually still a thing that I'm really trying to push and work on as well, because it can still be hard to this day, even though we've got artists now in Austin and in New York, and in LA. And then I obviously, actually my sister in the UK, she's a makeup artist as well.
Yeah.
She started assisting me when I was starting out in the UK. And so I brought her on board. But so we're kind of slowly expanding. It's a grind and it's a hustle every day.
Yeah.
But I'm, I learn new things every single day, and it's just being open-minded to certain challenges and changes along the way, and growing and adapting with them.
I think the cool thing about the team that you're building too, like the selling points that I think of for what you're doing is, not everyone has your zone of genius, which is you can attract the client and sell. And that's really rare for a creative as well. So I feel like with you, you're like the top of funnel, they kind of call it, where you're the top person, the main person that they interact with.
Yeah.
Not a lot of makeup artists or stylists or creatives in general. Like I find a lot of times they don't fully understand selling. They don't want to go get the client.
Yes.
They just want to be in their art.
Yes.
So what you're doing for people is truly being the magnet, attracting the client, and letting them be in the art, which a lot of people don't want to be the business person or the front-facing person to attract people.
Yeah.
So that's why I think what you're doing is like, if you're looking for those type of people who like, hey, if you're this genius artist who doesn't always want to have to worry about where your clients are coming from, like this is a perfect home for you.
Yes.
Because they just get to be in that,
that zone,
and
not have to do the other stuff.
Totally. Because then, and especially if you're not doing as many clients, like maybe you could just do your, your celebrities or your favorite people that you've had for years. Like then you can be that magnet to trickle down. It makes so much sense for your personality type. I'm like, this is exactly where you're supposed to be.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, you kind of summed that up there, because that's kind of what, and more, I feel like today I'm doing, I'm almost, it's not quite there, but I feel like I've definitely pushed into that way where I'm mainly with, my main people that I've worked with for many, many years. And I guess, without saying, to me, it's still feel, because I'm so grateful and thankful for everything. For sure. But I guess I am at that position now where I kind of can sort of pick and choose a bit more, or decide what, only in the way of, I'm a mum as well. We've got two
as you should, in order to grow, for sure.
A 10-year-old Coco, and Milo's, she's 3, 2 girls, and my husband. And it's, unfortunately, and then we're even I do high-end weddings and brides on the side. But at some point I had to put my rates up for my weddings, because it's like I wasn't becoming unavailable for my regulars. Yeah. And they're the ones that help me grow the company. And, I guess on the celebrity side, and where I've become, a little bit more known in the business. And so it's picking and choosing what makes sense. Yeah. And then fortunately over the years, because of working with these people and also not minding being on camera and social media, I very fortunately then started working with more brands and, ones that very organically, work well with me and that fit well, that I use the products on myself, use the product on my clients, or even like my daughter now with hair products, that make sense. Because for me, no matter what, it has to.
You're that person.
You'd be like when you say like I think I'm a seller, I can sell any, like I would be, but it has to make, I can't put anything on my page if it's not organic to me and I don't genuinely love it. And my followers, like fortunately I've had my followers have been with me since Coco was born, over 10 years. Yeah. And I love, I live in my DMs. My followers will know that, I'll always answer their questions, even about, skincare and makeup. That's why sometimes I don't get posts up so often, because I'm answering all the questions in my DMs. Are like, someone help me. My daughter's got bad skincare, skin issues. Like, what can you advise? And I'm like answering, like, tell me, send me pictures of what issues you have. And I'm going to answer you back, So I do try to cover all aspects. Yeah. And so sometimes I don't sleep and just live off coffee.
I love you're so generous and you're such a giver. And I remember just sitting in your chair for hours, because that's what we do. Yeah. when you're on a shoot as well. Yeah. And I remember thinking like, oh my gosh, this woman is so generous. I almost want her to be less generous to grow your business more, because I'm like, this was back in the day. But I was also thinking that, what you do is so cool, because I don't know if you've, I'm sure you've thought of it this way, but the more you remove yourself, the more you build other people's careers. Like that is so cool. Yeah. Like you get to grow other people's careers when you pull back and do what you're best at.
Yeah.
I mean, you're best at makeup, but let's also be honest. I actually think your ability to speak and sell what you do and create makeup artists who duplicate what you do is so powerful.
Yeah, well, thank you for saying that. And actually now when like hearing you say that out loud, it's almost, I feel like for me, honestly, I feel like I need to actually hone and push that more because I don't, you know, there's many people that will ask me about, or about, you know, tuition or classes, or even when I remember speaking to you about the courses you guys do and all this on the business side of things, you know, having more growth and reaching more people as opposed to just me personally going out to do you know a job. So I feel like there is a transition now in my life that I have started to, even just this year really, to really think of more about that side of the business and really where I can, you know, push it and grow it, you know, even more than where it's at right now.
Yeah, you're passing on education, you're creating careers, which is honestly, if someone, whenever we recognize that in people, we're like, you need to be doing that because number one, the world needs it. Number two, it, like I said, creatives aren't necessarily business people and they need a great workplace and they need somewhere that they can grow. And I think the super amazing thing about you is what I've seen, what I've learned from your Instagram, what I've learned even just from this short time is you love to get extra education. You love to learn new things. You love to pass that on to your team. Not everyone is doing that. So you have this like building career for people and a trickle down effect for everyone. So when a woman is capable of doing those things, I'm like, oh my God, go create more. Like,
I need to just, it's just, I think it's honestly as well, I've kind of got to the point where it, again, about saying spending more money to earn more money. Yeah. Even having, I do my own social, but I've been thinking that I need to maybe, you know, put a little bit of money behind that and have someone help me on the social side to also build the social media on the agency side. Cause I've not been posting so much on the agency page now for a long time because of just, you know, bandwidth and just not having the time to do that. Because I'm trying to juggle all these.
Oh my God, it's the entrepreneur.
Things.
Yeah.
It's
the constant entrepreneur like juggle of, okay, I'm growing, but I'm so maxed out. I don't even have time to think of hiring someone or who would I even need. It's a lot to like make time to work on your business, not just in your business. It's like, the hardest part.
Yeah. And being able to sort of try and be more present when I'm not working per se at home and being with my family and, you know, in between. Because when I finish a job, that job's not finished. You know, a lot of the time, you know, I'm the one that's taking content on my phone sometimes as well, BTS on my clients. I get back, my clients will be like, send me pics, Em. And then I'm like, oh crap, I've got to go through all the images.
Oh my gosh.
And then I've got my brushes to wash. And then then Coco and Milo are there. And then I maybe have to get on a flight at 4 a.m., like 6 a.m. in the morning, and be at the airport or whatever. So it is a constant, you know, hustle and grind. However, first and foremost, I love what I do with a passion. I love it. I think to grow and to expand, you have to absolutely, unequivocally love what you do with a passion. And I feel like then it helps. It can only help and you to achieve those things and not feel burnt out as such. You know, I mean, yes, I drink a lot of coffee and I love my coffee. But I have like that zest and that excitement for life and just being so grateful to be able to do what I do. And I don't take a second of that for granted, especially in LA, in the business.
For sure.
Like there's so many, and I get, you know, I find it sometimes emotional when I read messages from people that are like, Emma, how did you get your break into working with celebrities? How did you make it even? Like people will message me that and I look at that and I almost like want to cry like something because I'm like, oh my God, like little do they know I'm still like, I haven't made it per se, you know, in my mind, I'm like, I don't ever think of it like that. But I'm like, I get back to those people, as, I try and answer everyone that messages me. But sometimes that can be hard. But I'm like, if you find something you love doing with a passion, don't worry about the money, first of all. You don't think about the money, you know? Like back in the day, I was, and I still am to a degree, I probably shouldn't say that on here, but like, I think I am a yes person. I'm a yes person. So, ultimately, yes, I've become a lot more on the business side as well. And like, I'll hard pitch my girls the best rates I can, but for myself, I'm like, I love connecting with new clients. I love connecting with new people, because I'm like, once you get in there, then you can work on, and the money and all that kind of stuff, that all comes, that eventually will come, and it does come. But sometimes people, especially starting out, I think a lot of people are scared or worried to not be earning, or that they think they should be earning certain amounts of money at a certain period of time in life, or how long I don't think you can, know your vision of what you want. Be prepared to work 110%, like 150%, like
I totally
above
agree.
and beyond what you do. Even when I go as a makeup and hair person, I'm not just on set with you as a makeup and hair person. Like I'm there doing, I will, run and get, I do the whole shebang. Like, and I give the energy that I give, and I, like I'm slathering up the body, and I'm doing the whole,
you're in it. Like,
I'm
you're,
like,
I'm like, you're multiple people on set.
But I'm doing kind of,
you're doing above and beyond,
above
like more
and beyond
than most anyone does, for sure.
And I think that has helped me grow as well.
Absolutely. You burned into my brain, because I was like, this woman has, so I think, and I want to ask you some characteristics that you think of a successful person, but I think that you just named one of my favorites that just, I will never forget someone, and I always want to work with them or their team. If it's like, to me, I'm like, wait, she works with all of these people, yet she's running around doing all of these other things. I was like, that is a human who just like gets it, who I want to be around, who I want to be like, who I want to like, look, I want to, all the people I want, especially your makeup people, your hair people, your extension people, even if you can, your nail people, like you are becoming those people that you're around. And I think that is why you have been so successful, and you're going to be even more wildly successful, is because people want to be around that energy, because you rub off on them, like the enthusiasm, the energy. So in your opinion, what are the 3 traits that you feel like make people successful or have made you successful?
Oh, that's a good question. That have, I guess, what is it, like tenacity for life? Like, what's that?
Like enthusiasm for life? Like,
yes, that's the wrong word, right? Tenacity. Is it?
I'm like, tenacity is great as well. Yeah.
I love making other people feel amazing. I love life, and I'm a very positive, happy person. I wish that sometimes people, I feel like it's, I guess my energy and my hustle and work ethic and my zest for life has helped a lot in my success. I think that kind of, but I'm trying to think, like, if you was asking me three specific, I don't know how I could, I find that hard to answer in terms of, because I feel like it's a combination of, firsthand being able to do what I do, I guess on the talent side, like, bringing the goods to the table.
So like hard work and learning, like continued education, like hustle,
hard work, the energy, like having, I mean, I guess maybe that's the performance side of myself, but that when I say that, it's a natural thing for me. There's no performing per se. That's me. Like my clients, my long-term clients know it. My family know it. My friends know it. Like what you see, that is like, if you follow me on Instagram, or see, that is my person. That's me.
And that's,
I do think it's, I think that alone has been beneficial. And I think it's because people have actually told me that as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Over the years.
Well, you're in really important life moments. So someone to bring like enthusiasm, energy, and then obviously you have the skill set that you're working on, that you're always working on. Like, I feel so passionately about those 2 things, energy and enthusiasm, like so passionately. And I wouldn't say it comes super naturally to me. I've had to learn it, but now it feels natural because I've made myself be like, you're walking into a client's house, or you're about to do a podcast. Like, raise your vibration. Like, what energy do you want to leave them with? And I always have to think that.
Yeah.
So for you, it's not like, it's just natural. You're like, I'm going to make this person feel amazing. Like, do you think about that before you go in?
No.
You know that moment when a meeting ends and someone says, let's remember to circle back on this next week. Everyone nods, but no one writes it down. And next week rolls around and everyone forgets. That's why Granola exists. Granola is an AI-powered notepad built for the way real people actually meet. Here's how it works. You take rough notes like you normally would, and in the background, Granola securely transcribes the meeting. Then it turns everything into a clean, structured, actually useful notes when the meeting ends. And the best part is that Granola works through your device's audio, which means it integrates seamlessly into the video conferencing tools you already use, and there's no setup and there's no awkward bots. It's just your normal meeting with superpowers. So you get to actually listen instead of frantically typing every word and still walk away knowing exactly what was decided, who's doing what, and what comes next. And I have to tell you that before using Granola, my meetings were very much the classic entrepreneur chaos where I jumped from mastermind calls to team meetings to partnerships, scribbling notes everywhere, then spending extra time afterward trying to piece together action items or remember what we actually decided. So the first time I saw Granola's notes after a meeting, I was honestly shocked by how organized and complete everything was. It felt like getting my brain back. Now I can actually stay present in the conversation instead of worrying about capturing every single detail. So if you're in a season of big vision, big conversations, and a lot of moving parts, Granola makes sure nothing falls through the cracks. If meetings are eating up your day, Granola is a no-brainer. You can try it totally free for 3 months. Just head to granola.ai/earn. That's granola.ai/earn to get your time back. Get 3 months free at granola.ai/earn. If you've ever had that moment where you're ready to start the business and the idea will not leave you alone, but then you hit that wall where you don't actually know how to set it up, this is for you. When you're ready to start your business, it's not just about filing paperwork. It's about building your real business identity from day one. And that's exactly what Northwest Registered Agent helps you do. Your business identity is everything that makes your business legitimate and professional, from public records and compliance to your website, email, and phone number. With Northwest Registered Agent, you don't just form a business. You start with a complete foundation built for privacy, credibility, and growth. Northwest Registered Agent has been helping small business owners and entrepreneurs launch and grow business for nearly 30 years. They're the largest registered agent and LLC service in the US with over 1,500 corporate guides, real people who know your local laws and can help you and your business every step of the way. When you form your business with Northwest, you get a complete business identity. You also get access to thousands of free guides, tools, and attorney-drafted documents to help you run your business with confidence. No upsells, no selling your data. Everything is built and managed in-house under their privacy by default promise. Sign up for a free account and manage your business with lawyer-drafted operating agreements, bylaws, resolutions, membership certificates, bills of sale, and more, all in one place, all at no cost. And when you're ready for more, you can add domains, email addresses, phone numbers, and services anytime. Don't pay hundreds or thousands of dollars for what you can get from Northwest for free. Visit northwestregisteredagent.com/earn free and start using free resources to build something amazing. Get more with Northwest Registered Agent at northwestregisteredagent.com/earn free.
No, honestly, it might sound cheesy, but I love being around people.
Yeah.
There's nothing that I have to think to myself, oh, what should I be saying now? Or what do I need to do to make this situation? I mean, half the time doing what I do, I feel like a therapist. And
for sure.
Because honestly, I've had moments.
Sure.
Yeah. I mean, I've rocked up to brides places before where they've they've had a meltdown and I'm
God.
like having to because one thing or whatever. And I'm having to think, oh, I've got to get them in the chair. And then 40 minutes is passed.
And you're like, I got to get them down the aisle.
Oh my God, it's in my chair. I just
is this my responsibility?
And I'm having to hold their shoulders and I'm like, look, the sun is shining. It's blue skies outside. All your family and friends are here. There's nothing wrong with this moment in time. You should be happy. You're going to have the best, but all of it does come natural to me. Sometimes I do think to myself, oh, maybe if I wasn't doing what I do, I think I probably would be a good therapist.
For sure
a good, because I don't, It's not fake. It's not fake. I don't have to think of turning up the energy. Like although on the switch side, I do know how to read a room, like especially working with celebrities and being in certain rooms. I can be extremely quiet and know when to not speak. You know, I know when to listen and to take a minute.
That's so important.
Because yes, that's extremely important, especially in the line of work that we do. Sometimes you can't be that person.
Yeah.
But people who genuinely do know me, I will go up to anyone and be like, nice to meet you. My name's Emma. What's your name? Like, what are we doing here? Are we going to have a good day? Let's make today a freaking awesome day.
Yeah.
And I just think life is too short not to, firstly, chase your dream, like chase what you have in your head and what you want to create. And don't worry about the obstacles that keep. I mean, I remember when I first moved to the US and like I was married and I had like Graham, me and my husband had been together since we were 17 years old. And, you know, and his family and my family were like, why are you going to America? Like why are you doing, we had a house back in the UK. I was doing very well with makeup and hair and bits of acting in the UK. And they were like, why are you moving to the US? And I had, you know, if you're open to it, I do firmly believe that signs, you know, I'm not overtly spiritual, right? But I very much into, you know, my white feathers follow me around.
For sure.
And I do firmly believe that if you're in tune with your own thoughts and your own body, that you can really, like, things can sometimes come to you without you closing them off. And if you follow that path and what you feel to be you're meant to be doing, just shut out all the other noise. Like shut out all the noise and anyone that's saying to you, well, this isn't gonna, you know, I don't think you should be doing this.
Did you have that?
Yeah, I had loads of people saying to me, yeah, so, you know, and honestly, it was so strange. I had like when people would say that, I would have like no way condescending or anything, but I'd have a smile on my face and be like, don't worry about it, guys. It's going to be fine. It's going to be fine.
I'll show you. It's
like,
fine.
I just knew that what dream I had in my head that I just wanted to chase, that I didn't listen to, you know, anyone else.
You tuned it out.
I tuned it out. Even for my husband. He's like, Emma, we're not moving to the US.
No,
we're not leaving to.
I'm literally the same. I'm like, Are you talking? Because you're coming with too. You just don't. You just don't know yet. Yeah, but it's gonna be your idea. Yeah, even though it's mine.
And then eventually you're gonna be really happy with the
you're gonna love
with
it.
what
and
happens.
They're great.
They are. Yeah, Graham. I mean, within a year of moving to the US, Graham's like, I love it here. Why didn't we come sooner?
You're like, I knew it.
Yeah,
it's gonna be great.
Yeah.
Speaking of enthusiasm for life, I know that you've had some stuff that rocked you though. You found out that you had melanoma.
I did.
Stage 3. How did you find that out?
Gosh, I was pregnant at the time, and who knew that when you're pregnant, you know, your moles and freckles. Yeah. When you're pregnant, a hormone in pregnancy, I never knew this before, but now I do. They can turn cancerous.
I didn't know this.
Yes. And so anyway, I don't obviously, you know, I'm no doctor, so I won't talk further on that. But there is something to do with pregnancy and moles and stuff. So everyone get checked if you're pregnant and you've got any moles or freckles that you think are a little bit odd looking. I had a large mole on my leg for many, many years. And when I was pregnant, I did not stop working. And I carried on and on. And a freckle mole did become a little bit odd looking. But again, because I'm not a worrier and I just go and don't stop, I was like, I'm going to have the baby. I'm going to have Milo, because our kids were named before they were born. I'm going to have Coco and Milo. Yeah. And so we knew, you know, what we was having, and we named, I was like, I'm going to go in, have Milo, and then I will get the mole checked. She was 4 weeks old. Even the doctors when I was having Milo, they were like, you need to get that mole checked on your leg. And I was like, I'm going to. And I remember we came back from the hospital. She was 3 weeks, I think, 3 weeks old. And they called and they were like, we need to get you in immediately for surgery. Like, they didn't even,
oh God.
They told us it's a stage. They didn't actually tell us the stage at that point, but they said it's a stage where it's like almost, it could have spread. Already on that phone call was they said it's deeper than what it was 2C with ulceration, which is it's just below stage 3 melanoma, skin cancer. And obviously melanoma is one of the worst ones you can get as a skin cancer goes. But it had gone to a stage where they thought it had spread to my groin, my lymph nodes. And so, and I remember that day when we got the call, and Milo was laying on my lap and my husband was sitting next to me. And I remember that a few days later, I had to fly to Nashville for one of my brides. And my husband at the time, which you should never do, started Googling everything. And I'm like, I'm not going to listen or look at that. And so when they told me, I was very just matter of fact about it.
Did you numb out, or did you not let it in? Or?
Yeah, I didn't necessarily numb out. I kind of didn't, I let it in. I realized, I was like, oh shit, that's not good.
Yeah, did you like get dizzy?
I was like,
were you like, oh my God?
I was like, that's not good. You know, I was a bit like, whoa. But like I said before, I'm a very positive person. And I thought to myself, okay, we now know we need to get it sorted. I physically right now can't do anything about the fact that what they've just told me. And I've got these other things coming up. And so what do we need to do? The next stage is to get it sorted and to kind of navigate and move through. And so, yeah, like kind of roll on. I went to Nashville. I did my bride. I didn't tell anyone. I didn't let it out. I didn't, I
did that feel better for you or worse?
I'm like, this is
focused.
Gonna be, I'm, steadfast in that it cannot have spread to my lymph nodes. And so I'm going to be okay. Obviously at that time though, I didn't know.
Right.
And I remember going in for the wide leg incision, like surgery. Yeah. And at that point, that's when they had to do the nuclear mapping, and that they would have to wait still a week after the main surgery, which they carved out half my, like the side of my leg, which I joke now, and I'm like, oh, it's giving me a little bit of shape on my thigh. So I'm
quad sweep, they call that.
I'm like, oh, that's a bit of a
quad sweep
bonus. And so they were like, well, it's going to take a week for us to get the detail, the biopsy. They had to go into my groin and get the biopsy back and to see if it had spread to my lymph nodes. And obviously that was going to be, that was the moment where I did think that actually ultimately would be a life-changing, really like a quite a life-changing moment. Mm-hmm. But in my true positive sort of steadfast manner, I said to the surgeons afterwards, okay, it's my daughter's birthday this week and we had booked to go to Disney. And he's like, Emma, you would have just come out of surgery. You cannot be going to Disneyland and walking around Disney, and you're gonna have to have your leg up. And I said to him, look, if there's any place you can wait for a week to find out if you have if the bloody melanoma cancer spread to my lymph nodes, Disneyland is the place. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to get one of those scooters, those electronic scooters.
Yes. Did you do it?
He was like, there was like 3 doctors in the room, and they basically was advising me definitely not to go to Disney. And I was like, guys, I'm sorry, but I'm going to Disney. I'm not missing my daughter's birthday. And so with my bandaged up leg, like barely able to like walk on it, we went to Disney and we spent the week at Disney for her birthday. And obviously knowing that we was going to hear the results at the end of the week. And so that's what we did. And we had like 4-week-old Milo, and we spent the week in Disney, and I was on a scooter. And just the whole time I just thought, we are going to get good results. We cannot get, it can't be the opposite. And thankfully, we got the call at the end of the week when we got returned from it, and we got the call that it had not spread to my lymph nodes.
Thank God.
But still we had that whole kind of 7 days of waiting. And also I did think to myself, even if it had, at that point, there was not, like everyone was saying, you should have got it checked ages ago. Why didn't you get that checked ages ago? At the end of the day, it was that I couldn't turn back time, could I? So you have to deal with what's given to you at hand. So they kind of spoke to me what the process would be afterwards if it had spread and stuff, and what I would have to go, I just thought, well, we will have to tackle that if that happens. We will tackle that, and we will, whatever needs to happen. But thankfully it didn't end up being
thank God.
that way.
Did that change anything for you moving forward, like with how you viewed family or how you viewed your business, or did it change anything?
There was a moment of thinking, wow, like, wow, how, life just in general and how quickly things can change.
Yeah.
But I am also one of those ones where, I mean, even I say it to my kids like Milo's only 3, but Coco's 10. But over the years growing up, I always think to myself, there's someone else in a worse position, There's someone else in a way worse position right now, even though, yes, this could have been bad and thankfully it wasn't. But, someone's, you turn on the news and all these awful things that happen to, people, and people lose, their loved one, and I'm like, God, look, I've got nothing to complain about. So I'm very much like one of those ones where, I'm not going to moan, you can pile a lot on me and say a lot to me, and I'm one of these people that will just brush it off and get on with it, dust myself down, pick myself back up and move on. I did think to myself, I do want to be a bit more present when I'm not working with my family. And at that time as well, 3 years ago, I do remember constantly having the words from my husband, like, Emma, okay, you're home now, put your phone down, put your phone down. Because on the social media side of my work, that's another business alone. So I come home from a job and I'm, either have my agent head on, hustling for one of my girls to get, pitch them a job, or I'm trying to do social media or so I do try to be a little bit more, okay, Emma, it's okay. You can not respond for a few minutes, like go and be with the family. So it did make me think that a little bit. And I guess also take stock of what I'd achieved to date, like what I'd achieved. I don't ever pat myself on the back, and I don't, like I said a few times now, I don't take compliments that well. I mean, that's the Brit in us. You down the pub in the UK, you just always get the piss taken out of you or whatever. People, the more people that if they love you the most, they'll take the piss out of you the most. And so it's that whole, so, but over in, LA, everyone's very complimentary and very kind of, or can be. But at that moment I was, just taking stock of everything and actually being like, okay, I'm proud of what I've achieved to date. Still so much more that I want to do, that I would love to do. But being aware of what you've accomplished and, those like milestones, and thinking back what the Emma would think 10 years, 15 years ago, or the Emma when she was, 20, of what she'd got to and where she is in life now. And kind of taking stock of that.
Okay, so let's think about, I love doing this. Let's think about 8-year-old Emma. Can you see her? Can you put her in an outfit? What is she wearing?
I can right now.
Yeah, what is she wearing?
Oh, she's literally got, no, I'm not like that now, but she's got a little handbag. She's got sunglasses. This is like Milo almost by our 3-year-old. Coco's not like it, complete opposite. But Milo is, 6 pairs of sunglasses, wanting to dress herself, all changing all the time. I was like that as a kid. Very, yes, just very kind of neat and tidy with like little tiny, like, shoes with maybe a little bit of a heel so I could hear them click. I used to love that. I do remember. And then like a little outfit had to match. Always neat and tidy out of my siblings. Like I was the one that had everything laid out. So my parents would know. They'd be like, Emma, you're the one that's going to like do that sort of performing or something, because you're just always like that. Yeah, everything had to be perfect, like in my mind, neat and tidy.
So you have 8-year-old Emma with her clickety heels, little handbag, her little handbag,
sunglasses maybe,
and she literally is in this room right now, and she's standing right in front of you, and she knows she gets to see.
Oh my God, you're gonna make me cry! Oh my God, oh my God, why am I getting emotional?
It's a very emotional thing.
I would actually. Wow.
What would she say to you?
Oh my God. Oh my God. Now everything within a flash has come over me with like going through all that cancer stuff, and then and just the milestones that we've achieved as a family, and and then everyone would be like, well, about having Milo, because I was slightly older when I had Milo, and then what I've done. Why am I emotional?
It's very emotional. I've done it myself too.
Honestly, I'd probably be like, what you've done, the girl's done good.
Girl's done good.
You wanted to live that dream in America, and you're doing it, you're living it. Oh my God. People were like, anyone that knows me listening to this now will also be like, Emma crying? I don't cry.
It's always the 8-year-old girl.
But that's another thing. I don't actually cry. Like I don't like, and the times I ever do get emotional, I mean, this is happy emotional, right? So this is different. But like, I also am one of those people that's like, you know, slap yourself out of it. Because again, I think there's someone out there right now that's in a way worse position that would almost be like crying and like grabbing at their claws to be where you are, right?
Yeah,
and so I think to myself, there's no time. You can't get upset about anything. Like you don't have the right to be upset about anything, because how good is your life, you know, what you're doing, and you're living your dream. So yeah, crying, I don't cry. I don't really allow but nowadays, I guess being a mum, I do cry about happy emotional things, or anything to do with like animals and children and kids. I do cry now, a bit more. But yeah, I guess, I get, and I could almost like see the 8-year being like, oh yeah, check you out. Like being that girl as well, being like, look at you. But honestly, it's, oh my God, that really kind of got to me. That's, I think, you know, again, life is so fleeting and so short that we don't, collectively, everyone, I think, doesn't like take a moment to be like, oh my God, look what's around
what
you.
did. Look
and
what
be, happened. I remember, I can't remember exactly how Gary V, Vaynerchuk, how he like worded it one time, but it's like, you know, being content and happy with, you know, where you are right now. That's not being like complacent or being, you know, not still wanting more or striving for more.
Right.
But just being, and I forget how he worded it as such, but just being very aware of, you know, the right now, and being happy with, you know, because so many people just, you know, will carry on in their relationships or personal relationships or their work life, just not being happy.
Yeah.
Because they think they can't, there's not an alternative. And there always is. And like I said about the money side, sometimes it could be that you have to take a step back from earning a certain amount. But God, if that's going to make you happy, we only get one life, you know, we get one life, and it's so freaking fleeting. And like, well, you only have to turn on the news and even social media, like to hear of all these awful things that happen. And, you know, when family members, you know, I don't even want to go to think about it, but to me, that's why I have, I think, the energy and the hustle that I have, because I just love living life with my loved ones, my family members around me, and doing what I love with a passion, and being able to do that, like being able to still have those opportunities, and like the people that call me, and, you know, and I'm so still grateful, you know, even like my OGs, they'd be like, Emma, why do you always say like, you know, of course we're going to call you. And I'm like, yeah, but you never know, because one day you might, you know, just.
Yeah. So, you're deeply grateful.
Yes.
And
like
it vibrates from you.
Aware of, you know, of everything that to date that's happened, and what I'm trying to, you know, build and still keep creating. But they're very, very, very humbled, grateful, and thankful for all of it and the journey, you know, because all of it it's all about the journey and the memories you make and the people that you connect with. And, you know, and I think that is a big thing that can help people grow as well, you know, the connecting and being true to yourself and your genuine you know, don't try and perform for anyone. Don't try to think that you have to be someone different or do things differently because you think that's gonna, you know, impress someone. Like, do you, and if you do you 150% with passion and grit and grind and hustle, I think everyone would be successful, you know, to a degree, you know. So it's
Emma, I've loved this. Like, you've given business lessons, life lessons, gratitude lessons. Truly, it was so much fun. I loved getting to chat with you. Oh my God,
I've loved talking. I don't even know what I said, really.
Well, you'll go back and listen. You'll love it, because I like absolutely loved this conversation more than I could possibly tell you.
Oh, thank you.
And
this is my first podcast. It's like emotional. Like,
it's so great. I'm so grateful that you came on and you shared all of this.
Thank you for asking me.
Well, I had a great conversation with you in the chair for a very long time, so I knew it was going to be really good. And also, I love watching women build their dreams, and how you are online and your energy, like that is, if everyone can listen to this and pick up on the fact of you're essentially bottling up and selling energy. And I think you don't even know you're selling it, but that's why everyone wants to be around you and in your atmosphere. And I do think for anyone who's like, oh, I'm not naturally like that, like you can learn it. Like go back and listen to Emma's podcast 3 times because you can learn it. You can listen to how she thinks and you can listen to how she speaks. You can listen to her like pure enthusiasm on this podcast. So I'm so grateful for you. And I also want to make sure that people know how they can either, number 1, get their makeup done by you. Number 2, potentially think about joining your company. So where would they message you?
Yeah, email or DM on my social media. I will, sometimes it could be a delay in a few days or a week if I'm traveling, whatever, but I promise you, I get back to, I actually now saying this, there's a couple of artists that's reached out to me recently via email. But even DMs, I scroll through and I try to, get back to everyone. Email is better. And the email is on my Instagram.
Perfect. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put that, you guys, in the show notes below. So all you have to do is go click down. I'll put all of your info in there. I'll put your Instagram in there. I'll put your email in there. So they just have to scroll down and they can see all of it right there.
Oh,
so
thank
you so much for coming on.
Thank you. Thank you. And I'm also very excited to finally try your Glossy.
It's going to be great.
Like, honestly, I've been serious. There's a story behind it, guys. If you get any, you tag this onto the end or whatever, but I've been, yes, it's meant to be. And
she's
I
honestly,
honestly,
try, guys. She's going to let me know.
Yes.
You always get nervous before, it's probably like before you reveal makeup to someone sometimes. I'm always like, well, I hope she likes it. I don't know.
I can just tell I am going to. And there's a PR box that Laurie sent me that got lost. This is another story, but got lost. And so now that's why it's come full circle.
If it makes you feel better, I forgot I sent it to you. So
okay, there you go. That's great. I love that.
So
that makes me feel better.
That
actually makes me feel better. But honestly, I actually do. I know I'm going to, because it feels like a full circle moment that like then you've even, reached out about doing this, the whole podcast in general. And that's why I felt like it was so organic and so right to for you to be my first podcast. Like,
well, I hope this was great practice. Now I hope I see you on podcasts all the time. And
when people ask me to,
who knows? Like, what was the name of your podcast? What was the chat?
Oh, what was we saying? Well, actually, I know there's a little thing that I'm going to be doing with Coco, but we're seeing more of YouTube, but like Coffee and Glow with Emma and Coco.
Okay.
There's a little like, Coffee and Glow with Emma and like a little like
Coffee
I've got to think of the jingle with Emma and
Coco.
Coco, and then maybe Milo with the little like tambourine like chicken at the end. I've already started to think about that, but that potentially could be a YouTube thing. I'm not sure yet. But
we need some little microphones and end caps for you. It's going to be great. Well, thank you again for coming on.
Oh my God, thank you so much.
Yes,
Laurie, thank you so much.
Oh, I loved it.
I'm going to remember this today. It's like
same
with the little ones,
with the dogs, with the
little ones, they're not so little.
Yes. All right, you guys, I'm so grateful for you. Thank you so much for tuning in, and make sure you go and check everything out below. And until next time, earn your happy. Bye, everyone.